Yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Here's a set of headphones for you, homie.
Thank you.
So you can rock out with your ability to hear. We've managed to wrap cords around every single physical object in the studio today.
It is a labyrinth of wires.
It's a conglomeration of danger. It's a danger zone, basically what it is. So, welcome to There Goes the Neighborhood. My name is Keith Gosted. With me, as always, are Nick Fury and Mario the Poet. I'm the producer of this show. Things you will hear over the next... I'm turning your mics off while you do this. The things you will hear over the next 90 minutes represent the views of There Goes the Neighborhood and us, because we're the people making them. All opinions and quotations in no way represent River West Radio and are the sole responsibility of the producer, guests, callers. River West Radio is not liable for any legal issues arising from the content of this program. Is everybody else settled?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, cool. All right, so I'm going to start by manipulating my stuff while you guys figure out what you want to say.
He's manipulating his stuff.
I'm moving some, I want to shift some junk here. Wait, Mario, you got to get something off your chest real quick, don't you? I mean, besides your emphysema.
What are you talking about? What I had to do?
The
Kevin
final
Clash?
No, the final chapter in the Elmo saga. You have to get that done because we're going to talk about other things today, and I would just like you to get that done and over with.
Yeah.
All right.
But so Kevin Clash. So the report continues that Kevin Clash has been found to have other
Elmo knows where you live.
victims of his crime. And he has resigned from his posting at Children's Television Workshop and Sesame Street in general. Kevin Clash will no longer be the voice of Elmo. So my previous assertion in the last podcast that he was innocent.
It was one made out of love, though.
Yes, it was. I was trying.
You
to
do love
show
his work.
love. Yeah. So.
But I did notice. Did you see the guy?
Work that doesn't involve 15-year-old boy butt.
Well, that guy that was 15 is no longer 15, and they show the new one, and he looks for all the life of me like that one dude from the Black Eyed Peas a little bit.
He looks similar.
Didn't he recant his story too now?
No, I don't think he's recanted. The second guy, you mean?
Yeah, the second guy.
I have no idea.
Who knows, man?
I don't know. It has fallen.
I really don't care at this point.
Yeah,
you know,
it has fallen under so much speculation and gossip and mythos that I don't know what it is anymore. But I'll say this: the two Chainz guys that he has as his victims, they're not innocent, and I don't think he was stealing anybody's innocence. End of the day, whatever.
You sound like me defending the Catholic Church over there.
Except altar boys and dudes on the gay chat.
They're not all
line are
innocent.
Not the same.
I'll tell you. No.
They're not all the same.
I don't defend.
I'm not defending his pedophilia. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying you do. I'm saying I don't.
Oh, okay.
And I'm saying I'm making.
I'm
jokes.
Catholic too, bro. I'm Catholic too. I
know.
I don't even embark to defend Catholicism and the molestation that happened.
No, it's terrible.
It was horrible. I was an altar boy, apparently not cute enough to be molested.
I was never an altar boy, but I was never molested either, so I'm not that good looking. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, man.
Nick, were you ever molested by a priest?
I was left alone in the same room with many priests that I was never molested. So
Yes.
I must have been butt ugly.
Yeah,
man. So got some ugly children on this show.
Yeah, so I don't know, but I'm disappointed. The first black man to ever be led into the puppeteering community has come out as
What about Colin Powell?
The puppeteer.
He was a puppet. He was a puppet.
Yeah, well, he was a puppet. He wasn't.
Can I get a rim shot? Do we have a rim shot effect yet?
We don't have a rim shot effect.
Son of a gun.
I will
Okay,
put that on the list.
Next week.
Yes.
Oh man.
As these podcasts continue, we're only on podcast 6 now, so this is podcast 6.
Yeah. As soon as we get those podcasts situated on the website, but we can get the Ustream and we can get a few other spots online.
Yeah.
So they're out there, people. We're putting them on our Facebook page all the time. So
Like our Facebook page, please.
yeah,
Right.
that's a little desperate.
Okay, well,
It did sound. It sounded a little needy. It did.
I'm trying to figure out, like, Nick's starting to look more and more like a dock worker every day.
So, anyways, but yeah, it did sound a little needy. We hope you like our There Goes the Neighborhood Facebook page.
I
and that
don't.
you like these broadcasts.
I liked it first before anyone else. I just want to go on the record, and therefore,
We have all remarked that you are the hipster of the
yep,
group.
yeah.
I was loving this
It's
radio
not possible.
cast.
That's not possible because I'm too overweight to be a hipster. You have to
well, I think we're all a little. Somebody's got to be the hipster in our group.
Yeah.
We all have that excuse.
Of this group, you are the most thin. That's not. I don't even know if that's true. I think Nick
No.
is probably
No, it's
the
you.
least
It's
pudgy.
you because
I'm fat.
You know why?
I'm
Because
fat.
you're in the Shepherd Express calendar this week.
Whatever. I'm miserably. We're not gonna do that. I'm miserably.
Oh, we're doing
fat.
this. We're doing this at some point.
I'm miserably fat. I have ate a hamburger and hated myself for hours afterwards. Like, I have,
Where was this hamburger?
It was a Burger King.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Angry cheeseburger.
Angry.
cheat. Yeah.
A double angry cheeseburger, and it was like onions and juices and
Burger King just names the foods things that just make you ashamed to eat it. The Baconator.
I felt pretty good about my, like, years ago. I kind of just stopped eating like as much fast food. Like
Right.
I used to eat lots because when you grow up in a small hick town, where is there to get a quick meal? You know what I mean? Because no
Right.
one cooks at your house because everyone's commuting to work and you know. So and then you don't know how to cook because you're just a
You
kid.
mean you didn't just sit down, and at the table every night, and like good Americans do? And,
Yeah. We
nope.
I did. I just finger painting my ketchup sandwich.
There you go.
Yeah. Putting the ketchup right on that white bread. Yeah.
Funny. We ate a lot of McDonald's in my house for dinner. We still do. It's still horrible American fare. I got Netflix and Hulu Plus, and I'm on Facebook constantly. I am middle white America. As a black man. It's not that funny, but yeah.
No.
yeah, maybe that's you.
It's pretty funny to us.
But whatever. I went to Fuel today, the coffee shop next to the.
Oh yeah, I just got some coffee there too.
Yeah, the broadcast. I was supposed to buy you coffee, and I'm so happy.
I was
that
early.
I didn't have to.
But you got next week, you know.
Yeah, that's
you
always
know.
next week.
I was 2 minutes away from Tavis interviewing me until you guys walked.
We saw your frustration when we walked in. Did I say that?
Yeah, no, he was visually frustrated from across the street. He
At
stomped
your
his
home.
feet and-
Well, I went over to Nick's house before the broadcast today, and from Nick's house, I was like, "Yeah, we need to probably hurry up because if we get there super late, Keith's going to be doing Tavis."
and I realized I hadn't clipped this yet,
Elmo knows where you live.
Oh man.
and I knew Mario was going to talk about it, so I kind
You
of
just gotta keep that in the rotation.
Yeah.
I think that's a
Yeah.
good one.
But so I was in front of Fuel reading a book, and this Nathaniel Hawthorne book I had bought from the community bookstore. It is about 2 doors down from where we
Are
broadcast.
you reading Young Goodman Brown?
No. Yeah. How did you know that? Like,
Oh, English major over here.
oh yeah, yeah. So I was reading Young Goodman Brown. Wow, that's cool. And
It's his best piece in the short fiction.
Oh,
I think.
okay.
But my favorite one anyway.
so anyway, so I was reading that, and it was pretty cool. But then there was some loud black guy in front of Fuel, and white guilt was keeping people from telling him to shut up. And which I probably would have enjoyed the throws of white guilt that were going on in front of the place as he kept inappropriately talking and touching people. But I was just irritated because I wanted to get through at least 2 or 3 stories in the book before the radio broadcast.
Did you step up as a white man and tell them to be quiet?
No, as a black man, I just made like the disgusted face and internalized my disdain, and then walked to my friend's house.
He was taking the step back, as they say, and you were trying to sit there taking that step forward, reading your Nathaniel Hawthorne before, and there was this fool taking the step back, and you're like, we're never gonna get anywhere.
I have clearly recognized that I'm going to be a crotchety old bastard complaining about people on my lawn.
If you keep eating McDonald's.
I think that's why we made this show, because we've all resigned ourselves to that fate. We're going to grow into it on the air.
I'm already a grumpy old cuss.
Yes, I am too.
Yeah, it's just the way it is. It's part of the, like, having bodily pains is one aspect of it,
Right.
but then, like, just being absolutely disgusted with so much of society. Just
Right.
like, I don't like the way this works. I don't like the way these people interact. I don't care for what's fashionable right now. And then that just keeps escalating.
Right.
Yeah.
As you get older, I was when I got to Nick's house, I was telling him I like River West. It's the people that.
No, I'm telling you, you get up like on an early morning in like the spring or the summer, like on a Sunday morning, because in River West nobody's up on a Sunday morning; they're all still hungover. If you get up really early and just walk around on the blocks, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful neighborhood.
If we could only find a way to get rid of all these people.
You know, so many places would be great if you just get rid of people. There's too many people. I mean, that's not even.
Now
just
you
me
really
being-
sound like an old white guy. There's an element there I don't care for.
Except the element is old white people. Something I'm going to be in 20 years. So.
Sadly enough, that is true.
Well,
It's not even the old people; it's all people. It's everybody in the neighborhood. It's the people that find the incessant need to talk to me as we pass on the street. Hey, how you doing?
yeah, I get that too, but usually it's followed up by, because I wear a leather jacket, everyone assumes I'm just carrying oodles of change. Like, I don't have any change. I don't have a phone right now. Go away. The difference between me and you is I didn't ask first.
I don't have an excessive amount of change. I don't. A guy offered me crack like 3 blocks away from my house not too long ago, and it was like,
What did he look like? Was he Nick's fat white crackhead?
no, he was.
Nick's fat white crackhead. It's like the product.
You know, I was just thinking, have I told that story on it? I have.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
you have.
So he was at the bus stop, and I walked past. He was like, "Yeah, man, I got weed for sale." Okay, so like sometimes I just leave the house and go to the store like normal human beings. And I was going to get some chips or whatever, and he was like in between me and the store, and he engaged me in conversation about his weed business. Now, mind you, I'm not upset about you selling drugs, especially drugs of that kind. And I was like, no, sir. I was like, no, I'm good, man, but thank you for asking. And then he was like, I got that other. I was like, what? Do I look like I want that other? Or is it? And so I felt judged a little bit, and I went in the store, and I came back out, and I guess his bus had arrived, and he rolled away. But I was still disturbed by the whole process. Like, nah, man, I don't want no crack, but thanks. And I need to probably shave.
You should have done November when you had a chance.
Yeah, I should have probably shaved because my face was probably looking ragged. And I started to judge myself, like, why did I look like somebody that might have been in the market for a 20 rock? Like, what made me look like that guy? But anyways,
I don't know. I found out that I did November wrong. I guess you're supposed to start clean shaven.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so and then I might have to go up north. My sister had a baby, so
And you're gonna look
I
like
gotta
that?
go shave. You know.
You're gonna keep that whole
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this. I mean, I'm gonna.
chop
It's
stash?
gonna be clean shaven, but yeah.
Could you add a mole so you look more like Lemmy?
Now Lemmy's got he's got like just the.
He got rid of it.
Yeah. Oh, he did.
Yeah, he got like a surgery to get rid of that
yeah,
thing.
whatever.
Oh wow.
I don't know.
That's a band called Motorhead that's quite popular amongst the metal people. And
White guy.
He's looking right at Mario when he says this. By the way.
yes, I'm explaining it to him.
And Mario doesn't care.
Because they're from England, it's technically world music.
Right. So anyways, like, yeah, no, I don't care.
About crack?
No.
Or about Lemmy?
Or about Motorhead.
About any of that.
Motorhead, you'll care about Motorhead when we start playing some Motorhead for you. You'll be like, Ace of Spades! The Ace of Spades! That's going to be so cool. man.
We need to get that song on here. Only 15 seconds of it, but
Yeah.
that's all you need.
Yeah, I don't know. We got to figure these things out
The
sooner or later.
Ace of Spades. I am aware that Motorhead exists, and their band leader with his fedora,
He
black
doesn't have a
hair.
fedora,
That's a
dude.
cowboy
It's
hat.
a
dude.
cowboy
He
hat.
doesn't even wear that
A
cowboy hat.
fedora is a cowboy hat. It is a
No, a fedora.
fancy-
Fedora
it's a
is
fancy
not a
hat.
cowboy hat.
No. Vince
fedora-
Lombardi would never have worn
A
a cowboy
fedora
hat.
is an
That's-
adjective for a
dude.
fancy hat.
That's like saying you look like Seal. Okay, fedora and a cowboy hat don't look
A
anything alike.
fedora is a fancy hat. It is not a
Not.
style of hat.
It's not a cowboy hat.
So-
You said it was a cowboy hat.
So what I was saying was that I am aware that Motorhead exists. I am just not a fan. And the handlebar mustache that the fellow wears on his face.
We'll make you a fan.
Of the Ace of Spades.
Dude, the Ace of Spades is a great song.
Oh yeah.
It's a good song. Trust. You gotta trust. You
It
gotta
is.
trust us on this one,
Yeah.
man. It is. 2 out of 3. There goes the neighborhood guys. Agree.
And that's why black people can't never get weed legalized in our neighborhoods.
What?
Because
What?
2 out of 3 white people don't agree. I don't know.
No,
I just made stuff
you're just
up.
blaming your lack of musical taste.
I was trying to shoot for white guilt, and it didn't work.
No. I explained to you I don't have any real white guilt.
Yeah.
You know,
Whatever.
by virtue of who my particular group of ancestors were. But I've explained that to too many people now, and it's just like, I'm just tired of it. Whatever.
Right.
Nah, I don't care.
I'm not responsible for the way this country is run.
Right.
If I was, I would have more pound cake. And so would you, and so would you. So would everybody be allowed to eat more pound cake.
I love white guilt. It's awesome. It's like all of the ill feelings and none of the property ownership.
That's just us.
we get to go to the store both with a Quest card, but I get to skip you in line because you feel bad about it.
No. I don't feel bad about it, but I'll tell you this. I feel kind of upset when the guy at Whole Foods won't let me buy sushi on the Quest card, but it's clearly allowed. I want that sushi sometimes. I don't eat it all the time.
it's not
It's a
cooked.
once a month treat, maybe, if
Right,
that.
right.
You know, and then they got their sandwiches. Now, the rule is you can't have anything cooked.
Right.
But
But
free-
sushi isn't cool.
Because sushi's not cooked, right?
Right.
So, there. But he says it's prepared food. And I'm like, you know what? You're prepared food. And here's the thing. That was a white guy that said no.
I have bought steaks with Quest card money, and I felt bad. You know what I mean?
Why
I
you
got
feel
to
bad?
cut-
It's like,
whatever. So I just did.
There's plenty of cholesterol in them. You should feel good about that. You're still not making a healthy choice.
So I went to the counter, and the girl so she saw the 2 big, huge $20 ribeyes that I was putting on the Quest card.
Nice.
And she was like, "That's $33." I was like, "Scott Walker's paying for it." Trying to, break up my, bad feelings.
Nicely played. I would like to blame everything that I do on the Quest card on Scott Walker. Channel 4 did an undercover investigation of like places that like accept Quest cards now, and they're like going into these like gas stations or like corner stores that just sell like tobacco and crap, and then they have like a little bit of soda in the corner, and basically because people are buying all their alcohol and their tobacco on their Quest card because certain places don't check that. So this was on TMJ4.
Legally sell tobacco. Like there's no not checking that. They just
Yeah.
legally sell it. Go ahead.
It's
I know places you can go and get
Yeah.
a 4-pack on your Quest card.
Right, yeah, and so like now that's the thing. But this is how these movements start. The local news starts like, ooh, investigation. People aren't buying good, healthy food on their Quest card. They're buying tobacco and cigarettes and alcohol and stuff. And then next thing you know, we're not allowed to have any Quest cards. That's
Oh,
really,
that happens?
in my opinion, it's a slippery slope.
Right.
Because they go after certain people that
Because they
like
make it
are
a slippery slope.
Right, because they want to make it tough on certain people to not buy crap. But then I buy my groceries on it, right? Straight up, just buy my groceries on it because I need to eat. I
Right.
need to have stuff at home that I could eat. Every so often, I'll get like a candy bar or something because you can. But now they're saying they don't want to have people being able to buy booze and stuff, which you shouldn't. I understand that.
You shouldn't, period.
You
The
shouldn't,
law
period.
says you
The
can't.
law says you can't. But people are doing it. And next thing you know, they're going to, I just know it, they're going to start like putting barcodes on everything that you can and cannot get. And so they're basically going to be controlling your food choices, I think. Yeah.
Well, and then it just shows just the disingenuousness of it. I mean, why,
Disingenuousness? Disingenuosity?
Is that what
No.
it is? Okay.
Would you just...
Go ahead.
But
Sorry.
yeah, but it's like, why is this even on the news? If you
It is news. It is, but it's like, I don't know.
I
I don't know,
if it really
man.
is.
I don't know.
I mean,
there's embezzlement going on that doesn't make the news until after the conclusion of the case.
Right.
It's not a
Right.
major issue. I don't think the largest portion of the food stamp, the SNAP money is going to deleterious people. I think it's probably a small percentage,
Yeah.
and I think that when they find out about it, the institutions in the government that have the regulatory power over those things try to make sure it's not continuing to happen. I think they just try to use it to characterize a program that works well in the community. There's no reason in the richest country in the world that anybody should be hungry.
Yeah.
and that's what I'm saying.
It's a good program. I think they're just trying to to cast a derogatory light on it by taking the minority
Yeah.
of grocers that are doing something wrong
Right.
and making it seem like it's prevalent. When Nick says it's not news. Yeah, maybe it's not news because it's not as prevalent as people. You don't know 4 places you can go and spend your quest on liquor. I'm a guy who doesn't have direct connections to the underworld, but knows a few people that are trying to steal something, and I can only think of 2 places that do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to testify to who those places are.
The
but
most I know is like a place that'll sell you beer after hours.
Right.
It's not like any of this is.
right.
Well, the
it's not a pervasive
And they
problem.
won't take food stamps for beer. I mean,
Sure,
that's-
they won't
that's
do
as
that.
much,
You won't go to Pick and Save or any
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the
You
local
won't-
groceries.
none of those
You
places
have to
do it.
find a dark corner somewhere
Right,
to
right.
find.
But that's the thing is like they're now this is what I worry about is that rather than going after those places, they're going to start going after the people.
program.
Right, and
program.
that's why I'm saying that's
Yeah.
why it's on the news because they're trying to, they're trying to put this idea out
Paint it
there
in a
that's-
negative light, right?
Yeah,
Paint the
that's
program.
pervasive.
It's not. It's far from pervasive. It's not going on everywhere. There are only a few choice places, and as they pull those places out of the system and make an example of them, I'm all for. If you find some place selling liquor for Quest that has become that noticeable, or that like if you, I don't know. From a personal perspective, I don't be mad at some place if they can do it and get away with it. I mean, that's me personally. But if you've gotten to the point where everybody knows and the newspapers can find out you doing it, then you should be gotten rid of because you're ruining it for everybody. But that's just my personal thing.
Right. So
I mean, it's clearly wrong.
Well,
You shouldn't be doing that.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
for people to make sure that people are able to eat in this country. You know what I mean? That are poor, that are impoverished, that don't have the means to buy the food stuff for themselves, and it's only right. It's the way that we subsidize the food makers. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
definitely.
And if we're gonna subsidize oil, we should be able to subsidize people eating. You know what I mean?
For real.
As a government, I don't have a problem with the program at all. At the way that it currently is, I hear single males with nine children get about $200 a month. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with. Okay, so let me ask this question to y'all.
Okay.
As we were just, as I
throw
was
it
just
out
thinking
there
about
in
it.
the middle of the ring.
So, if a woman has more and more children, I'm not even sure I should ask this question. I'm gonna ask it because I'm already this far out.
Does she become more and more? Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
I guess I shouldn't ask that question.
Well, yeah.
Well, I come.
No, it's because the truth be told. But anyways, so if a woman has more and more kids, at what point is it no longer acceptable for us to keep giving her more money for food stamps? Like, or at what point are we saying, okay, this is all we helping? You know what I mean? Is there a dollar amount? Is there an amount of kids amount? Like, what's the fair? Or is that a governmental issue that we have to quantify and study?
Who are the men that are having sex with these women? Right. That's my question. Because I don't even like getting with single moms right now.
Right.
Because not because I don't like them. It's just because like I don't have a lot of stuff that I can do to help out your situation.
Right.
I would feel obligated to do so because I think I'm that sort of guy. You know, like, geez, I should step up and try to help if I'm going to be doing this. And that's not necessarily the correct thing. You don't have to hold the door open for a lady anymore. You know what I mean? But it's like, that's just the way I am because I was raised by a single mom, and I know how hard that stuff is, and I know like how awkward it felt for me as a kid seeing the guy come in that's just dating my mom and being like, who is this guy? And then like you get weird judgments on them. They have a hard time relating to you. It's like that's just such an ordeal, And so like, because I grew up with that circumstance, I think like if you're a man, you should maybe exercise some restraint as well. It's not all on the woman. I don't know.
Well, I'm saying like we have laws in place to hold those gentlemen accountable.
Yeah.
Those gents accountable. I don't call them gentlemen. But I'm saying like
Fellers.
at what point does she have to rein in her vagina? You know what I mean? Like at what point are you okay? Like that's 7 of them, and we're not helping anymore. But these kids are human beings. Like okay, but she keeps having them, and we don't feel like she is the correct.
Not so much to put a ring on it, but maybe to put a cork in it.
Yeah. I'm just saying she's not. We don't trust her as an institution to be responsible for these funds.
See,
like you have 47 kids.
It's true though. A woman has enough kids, she can become an institution.
Right.
And that's the weird thing.
The Octomom type thing. Like, I don't feel like you deserve food stamps, but for 3 or 4 of them. You know what I mean? Like 3 or 4 of them, I'll give you. We'll help you with the first 3 or 4, but after that, you're on your own.
Well,
how many babies can she have before we say, "Hey, listen, lady"?
I mean, how do you look at it though? I mean, because do you think it's a justifiable thing, like what China does to have a one-child policy? I don't exactly know how they enforce this, but it's a thing now where
Well, let's not even worry about China. So let's say, what if in this country,
just an example.
But what? No, I'm not, and we'll use it to formulate my question.
Sure.
So what if we say that we will only help you with your first child, and all the rest of them you on your own? Do you think that would change family planning in America? Like we saying this, so I'm saying this.
Well, we still got a sizable population that's completely against family planning.
Right,
quotation marks. You know what I mean?
They don't want to. They don't want to pay. They don't want to pay for WIC and all these public assistance programs, but yet they don't want. There's the foster system is overworked and they don't want abortion.
Clearly.
So, there's it's these same people who are
that's the point that always bothers me though, Nick. And I hate to interrupt, but was that the anti-abortion people go, well, you could get a baby up for adoption with no concept of how many kids are in the adoption rolls that nobody wants. Mm-hmm. That just go to foster systems
and grow up in the system and get shipped from home to home. Every couple of years they're living with new people. There
are babies every week, year that are born, and then even if you take all the healthy babies out the system, think of all the babies born with disabilities and with health problems that people don't want to take on as a fiduciary responsibility.
No, I would. It's that's why it's so hard to like figure that stuff out, and like there are groups out there that do a different kind of work. We got one in Milwaukee, and it's trying to remember the name, Rosalie Manor, which will take young pregnant women in and basically give them life skills in order because they've come to them basically, I'm going to have this kid. And they don't necessarily want to put it up for adoption, so they give them training and life skills on how to be a mom. And
can life skills be condoms, though? Is what I'm saying. Like, I don't mean.
Well, they're Catholic institutions, so it's probably like they're teaching them how to discern how to discern how to not have sex necessarily. Hey,
abstinence. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
why isn't that an option? I do it very well.
Why is it? That's not the same thing.
Well, these bitches need to get with the program. No.
Hey, that's a quarter for the swear jar. Finally.
No, I was talking about female dogs.
finally he gave up one. But what I was saying was,
No, that's a scientific term.
It is.
for these broke hoes. I mean, garden tools.
Yeah.
Broken
Yeah.
garden tools.
What? I don't know, man. Like, look, people. The only thing that people can distract themselves from their crappy lives is to, like, do drugs and have sex. Then great.
Right.
That's all you got.
Right.
I don't know. You were reading Nathaniel Hawthorne earlier. How was that working? You weren't doing drugs or having sex while you were reading Nathaniel Hawthorne.
I am clearly a proponent for masturbation as a solution to the population problem.
I'm also saying oral sex is a good way to go.
All right.
Yeah.
all
There
right.
should be oral sex classes in high school.
All right.
And part of the graduation ceremony would be it would involve a baton.
And glitter.
Yeah. There'd be glick all over the place.
So, that was,
Glee for everyone.
so I'm trying. So I've been trying to work as we've been listening to the podcast and getting better and better. I'm trying not to guffaw, but he makes it so hard on here not to laugh so loud. And I feel like I'm disappointing him when I'm not on the mic.
I assume that when you're not doing that is because you have a headache. To be perfectly honest.
I'm trying to rein it in a bit, but that's funny. It's Glee for everyone. I'm sorry. But yeah, so no, I just think if we said we're only going to help support the first child, unless you can show that you took some personal responsibility. I mean, at some point, like, even my liberal leanings say, and it's where I think the Republican Party tries to resonate with people, is that, people have to take a certain level of personal responsibility for what they're doing in their life and how that affects the greater economy.
It's hard for me to, I just really don't know. Zombie apocalypse. It's going to solve all of our problems.
So today I found, online, zombie apocalypse story. There was a canned turkey. No, canned chicken.
Canned chicken.
Fully cooked.
Yep.
And it was in a can in preservative juices.
I've heard about this.
And you just open a can and it's a turkey. And I was like, that's awesome, post-apocalyptic, where the virus has been released and you're not sure what foods to eat that have, what has and hasn't been contaminated. At least with the canned chicken, you know that it probably wasn't included in the virus causing strain.
There you go.
But short of the end of all things, I'm not eating a canned turkey, chicken or whatever. Like, I don't care. Short of the end of all humanity, I'm not eating this.
I might be the only person who, at least judging from every time I sign on to Facebook or whatever, I don't really understand why are zombies such a pop culture phenomenon these days? Why is everybody seriously preparing for zombies? I don't understand that.
George Bush was our president for 8 years, and we were searching the end of all things was imminent.
It still could happen. I mean, Israel is bombing Gaza.
That's not zombies, though. I mean, that's war.
A black man's president.
Right.
It could be the end of the world. I'm just saying.
There are other signs. I don't want to get into them, but I've heard of other signs of the apocalypse.
Other than the black man being president,
Yeah.
and reelected, it could be the end of all things.
No, it can't, because if we'd have elected the Mormon, then we would have.
Brought about the end of all things.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been a heresy. And then God would have struck down Zion.
But we didn't.
Yeah.
It was the Kenyan.
Dodged a bullet there.
Right.
The Kenyan Muslim socialist who went to a racist church.
Yeah.
In Indonesia.
I never understood that. Did he go to the racist church or is he a Muslim? Which is it?
He's a Muslim, Christian, atheist, Orthodox, Mormon,
I don't know.
Tabernacle
Communist.
Choir.
He's getting gray, is what it is.
Yeah. Well, all presidents. I mean, you look at when they first get in office, and then when they come out. I mean, it's
If you talk
it's
to
like
people
meth pictures.
If you talk to the people at the Pentagon enough, you'll go great. If they tell you the ramifications of everything we do, and when you have to go through all those contingencies, it'll worry you to death. and they on there won't shut up about it. Like that's my assumption. Like what Gray's presidents is, they go, well, if we do this, this could happen. Like it's like playing chess.
Oh, yeah, foreign policy.
24 hours
Oh,
a
yeah.
day. It's like playing chess.
The economy is bad enough, but if I had to think about like was foreign policy, and because of the things that this country does that are that are so questionable and so under the radar and underreported or unreported or just
secret
at this point, the things that they probably know about, that would creep me out the most.
That'll gray you.
And that would make me gray. And I'm just like the few times that I look at stuff on the internet, and I'm just like, I choose not to believe this conspiracy theory.
But what if it's true?
I choose not to believe there's this death ray in Alaska that is, the military is guarding.
There are dinosaurs living underneath the center of the earth.
That's what's his name? I forgot now. Nikola Tesla was working on a death ray, wasn't he?
And they have one in Alaska now.
We have a weather machine too.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's it's the
Isn't that the
supposedly the Northern Lights were seen over Japan before the tsunami hit last year, and Northern Lights are never in Japan, and it's part of this whole ionic.
Why are we killing Japan?
They from what I've read, it was apparently some side effect of an experiment they were running.
Oops, a daisy.
Yeah,
Blah blah blah. I smoke too much weed.
But now
and
they know
play
it
video
works.
games.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the problem. Scientists have no morals because they don't believe in God.
I had somebody tell me that yesterday.
God doesn't have any morals because he doesn't believe in himself.
He has self-esteem issues.
I-
has self-esteem.
Oh, whoa! We just crossed like so much blasphemy right there.
God has self-esteem.
That's what you just said.
That's what I know. I said, and that's what I think are as horrible as they are.
Like, well, he said he doesn't believe in himself. People are always telling me that. Keith, you don't believe in yourself. I know. It's like, well,
A baby born.
nobody else does.
God doesn't make mistakes. What about the baby that was born with triple cancer that died screaming? Oh yeah, well he has self-esteem issues.
He's very insecure.
Is this room getting hotter? This is wacky. This just got too wacky.
I was talking to my friend last night, and she was telling me about my friend Cassie. She was telling me, like, I'm just really looking for a guy who, has a really strong Christian belief and a Christian moral, a man of God who's willing to wait until marriage for sex. And she's like 30 something. And I was like, well, I don't know that guy. I hope you find him somewhere. He probably likes boys.
Jeez.
Or he's AC Green.
Oh, AC Green's married, isn't he?
Is he
or is
now?
he still? Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah,
I think that
he was a
virginity
yeah.
things falls out after 28.
Well, he was a virgin well into his 40s, though, wasn't he?
I have no idea. AC Green. I knew he was a virgin for way too long. I knew AC Green was a virgin longer than I would have been comfortable keeping my virginity.
Right.
Like, he was a virgin long enough that I would have found the services of a prostitute. Like, yeah, listen, man, I'm good with this. It's like carrying around a bag of poop. At some point, you're like, I don't want this anymore.
Handing the poop to
I mean,
you.
I know when I turned 13, like that was, that's when I got uncomfortable with my virginity. It took me a few years, couple, but yeah.
I don't know.
It was because back when you're 13.
I wish I had it back.
Yeah.
This stinks.
Yeah.
It's like, that was great, all those times, but like now it's just like,
I don't know, man.
Well, because you realize you don't know what the hell you're doing back then.
But I said before, like I was reading this story in the Hawthorne book about this time machine, and they had went back in time, and got back their youth, and I was like, man, would I want to go back to 18, 19, and that inextricable urge to find vagina of some sort, like that resonating hum of I must find place penis. Like, could I go back to a time before I calm down? And I wouldn't go back to 18 and 19. There are movies. We have built a whole mythos around boys and
I hate
unrestricted urge.
I can't stand it because I made so many bad decisions. The women that I hooked up with did nothing but bad, irreparable damage to me.
I made terrible decisions. I was engaged when I was 19.
Well, that's nothing.
I was married. What do you mean? Like,
that ain't nothing.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever. I was married and have 2 children.
I had
that
no
I
business
love
being
dearly.
engaged.
I had no business being married. Like it was just that, like, I want to hump so bad, and then not being.
I want so
just
much
elbow.
that I want some sort of a contractual agreement. That's what marriage is.
When you're obligating yourself to continue to sleep.
It's part of the vows, isn't it? Do you promise to give it up at least twice a week?
I want a contract. I want a contractual obligation to solidify our relationship. Well, you are aware if this thing doesn't work out, she gets half of your stuff.
Oh,
I'm fine with that. Yeah, that's fine.
yeah. That's good. That sounds good. Wait, do I still get to put my penis in her? Oh, okay, she can have half of my stuff.
Damn right.
Because you don't have anything when you start this relationship. There's nothing to divide. So you're like, okay, sounds cool. I can put my penis
You can have half
inside
of
of her.
nothing.
Right, you can have nothing. And then you accumulate like cars and video stuff and money. And then she's like, okay, well, I want out. Huh?
But why? I got all this stuff.
Cool stuff.
Yes, I want half of it. I'm sick to death of your penis. That's really all it
I'm
is.
sick to death of your penis. I don't know if she ever.
Damn right.
What? Tammy, what do you know of penis? Okay.
Wait.
Sorry.
Yes, Mario, that was the joke.
Is she a lifelong
Lesbian? I don't
Is she? Huh?
Wikipedia?
Yeah.
I don't know. But Tammy a lifelong? It doesn't matter to me if she's a lifelong lesbian. I found her more hot, her and her boyish haircut, more sexually attractive when I found out she was having hot lunch on a regular basis. Yes. It is part of my part of my speech.
Brought it in now.
Yeah,
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah. You introduced me to hot lunch. Well, not literally.
No, I didn't. It's like, hey, Mario, watch this. It's really cool. You should try it sometime.
Hey.
We were at the club together. It's like,
Yeah. Nah.
I don't have any 20s left now.
What?
Should have been making it rain so much.
Yeah, right? Jeez. So, anyways, let's get away from this nonsense.
Let's talk about strippers like we did last week.
And burger sandwiches that go with.
Yeah. Yep. So, Mario, you had something else you wanted to bring up today, or you
I was good. I don't know
you
what
good?
I was supposed to bring up.
Nick, would you have anything else you'd like to bring up today?
I don't know. I've been.
When did the show then, damn it? We're 13 minutes into the
I have something I could talk about. You know, it's kind of a.
Is it personal or weird? Or?
No, it's just late. Like these last couple of weeks, I seem to be a magnet for these proselytizing assholes.
Proselytizing.
Proselytize. Is that how?
Yeah,
Okay, I've only seen it. I've only seen it written before.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's proselytizing. Okay.
I'm gonna turn the mic down.
But yeah, these the 3 C's as Jim Cornette calls them, the conservative, Christian, and then the third word is one of the George Carlin's words.
Yeah. Well, okay. So what is happening?
In
They come into your door.
yeah, no, on campus, like just.
Well, that's
there's-
campus, dude. That's
Right.
you got to deal with other people with differing opinions.
But there's all these different Christian organizations, and I don't understand why there needs to be so many. First of all,
Because there's so many different Protestants. They couldn't all come back in under the big umbrella of the Catholic Church. And they all split off to the 4 winds.
right?
And you got your Bible thumping evangelical what's-its over here, and your Seventh-day thingamabobbers over here, and it's like, yeah,
You know, I mean, that's.
I don't know.
I mean, I was raised Catholic, but I haven't really. I made it up to. I made it up to confession. You know, the 7.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
That's a tough spot because once.
Sacraments.
Yeah, sacraments.
Yeah, right. So you didn't get to the priesthood or marriage.
No, I did not.
I was not married by the Catholic Church, so I don't have to be excommunicated.
Okay. That's good.
By my divorce, I don't have to be. I can still have communion because I was never officially married by the church. So
I think they kind of relaxed on that stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
a
my
little bit.
mom's still in the church and she's
Yeah.
divorced. So.
They're
no, my great grandmother was vehement about if you divorce, you're not supposed to take communion. I mean, the church has relaxed in their stance on whether or not the priest won't be like, no.
none for you, John Kerry.
None for you, Newt Gingrich. But I think he's like evangelical or something. But But
I don't even know what Newt is. I know John Kerry was denied communion back in '04 by a bishop because of his stance on abortion. And they played politics in the pulpit with that stuff. And that's the thing about the church, though, is you got like the left and the right. It's a big tent, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then like
being the biggest church in the world.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's a
it becomes it's monolithic in its size and scope.
Right.
So when you talk about, I know 5 churches that there's been molestation. I said, yeah, well, it's the biggest church on the face of the earth, and there are a lot more priests than there are a lot more priests that didn't molest kids than there are priests that did.
Yeah.
You have no idea. I mean, even the Jesuits. Even when we get into other orders. Even the Jesuits, who a lot of these priests come from that order.
Right.
Are enormous in their scope and
see, I didn't know that, and I grew up right by Marquette, that's Jesuit
and that's
school.
Jesuit, right?
Yeah.
Right. And so there was a big drop in Roman in the Ket when that whole thing came out among those who in the know that the Jesuits had a problem supposedly. I don't know if it's not. Again, I'm not saying it's confined to any one order. It is my understanding that all of the orders have had to deal with this problem, but the Jesuits, you will remark that a lot of the prominent people that were accused of.
That's part of why all these different orders come about in some ways. I guess I don't know. Stop manipulating your mic stand over there.
That's what she said.
What are you, Steven Tyler of Aerosmith?
No, we had a guest that came by. My guy Jay came by. Come say hello on the microphone. You should probably stand up faster so we don't.
No, do it slow and awkward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Slow and awkward is really the best way for me to do anything, or really the only way that I know how to do anything.
So you
What is? Oh my goodness.
So I just wanted to give him an opportunity to say hi. This is the second week we've been doing the show, and he had stopped by in the area, so I just wanted to give him an opportunity to say hello.
Cool.
And that was my.
How you doing?
My
Super
friend.
cool. Hi, Jay.
I don't know why that had to happen, but it just did.
Because you're playing it really slow today, man. You're like,
What do you mean?
well,
I'm relaxed.
I know. It's like you had a big lunch or something, or maybe you
It
just
wasn't a huge lunch.
It wasn't a-
Neither
it
of
was
us had a
moderately
huge
sized
lunch.
lunch.
Now you look like you
was
sound
a
like you're
snack.
about ready to start us some soul jams or something. Like this is like the preamble. Here's a song.
This is Venus
I'm gonna tell you a
Flytrap.
song right now that I'm about to play for you guys right
Really?
now. And
Is that what happened?
all the people in the world, throw your hands together. And one time I want to
On the quiet
I mean, I could be.
The quiet. Yeah, that's the Mario we know and love.
Mario.
Quiet Storm. Quiet Storm Mario is putting the show to sleep.
I'm not. It is only my intention
You got
to be relaxed.
you got just.
I'm trying to be more controlled.
It's all
and
good.
More
You don't have to
without all
control
the-
yourself,
the
man.
go- the
Let it go.
guffawing
The only thing you gotta do is not swear. That's the only goal that we have in this whole business. All right.
But so I mean, and I'm I've had a long week with the whole Elmo thing, man. It was just disappointing, man.
Oh, so that's really what it is. You're depressed.
No, I'm not depressed about Elmo and his.
I am not depressed about Elmo. That's the quote.
Elmo knows where you live.
Oh goodness. Does this mean Sully is gonna come back? You gotta fill in the void.
So the question was asked, like,
Sully's land.
what could be more awful than Elmo being found to be a pedophile? And so I said, like, Guy Smiley loses it on bath salts, And and during the Name That Sound game, he bites through a man's skull. That's the sound of God biting through your skull. Grover caught. Right. Grover caught in Vegas with some whores,
some strippers.
right. In a Super Grover suit, and getting in the car, he says,
Cookie Monster wants tossed salad.
The Count getting caught for embezzlement, and in his own defense, he admits that he couldn't actually count.
The numbers are too big. This does not add up. Well, I don't know. As long as Snuffy and Big Bird are still on, those are the two characters I care about. I don't know.
Telly Monster was actually a transsexual, and he had his genitals changed. And then during a freak accident with the penile pump, it exploded and put one of Oscar's eyes out.
Where do you get this stuff?
It's called an imagination. I learned it on the same show that I'm talking about.
Yeah. Let's count rocks together.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Crack rocks.
8 ball. 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 ball.
Can you count these grams? 1 gram, 2 grams.
I'm on. Okay, whatever. I don't know. He was Italian all of a sudden.
Yeah. See, but this is why I never really got into Sesame Street as a kid. I just, I always knew there was something shady about every single one of those people. All them Muppets to me were just a little off.
Sherlock Hemlock.
Well, it was because it was
Sherlock
a bunch
Hemlock.
of hippies.
Yeah, and I
Sherlock Hemlock loses it and is found killing 4 or 5 people in front of Mr. Hooper's store, covered in blood,
my earliest
screaming near and far at the camera. Near, far.
but he's getting it wrong.
Right. He's far, and then he's saying near, and then when he's near, he's saying far. Right. Zoe has been running a prostitution ring, and
I can't do a Zoe voice. So,
there's videos of Baby Bear making it rain on that hoe. On that Zoe. I'm sorry.
on that Zoe. See, like I've lost track of characters I have not watched for so long. I know Zoe's like a girl Muppet or something. It's just like I like my show when I was a kid was Dukes of Hazzard. That's it.
Right.
You didn't learn anything from
He's a
that.
good old boy.
Never meaning no harm. Someday the mountain might get him, but the law never will. And then it was always and I had no idea what the flag on the top meant
was the
until I
guy who
started
did the
watching Civil War
voiceovers?
document.
What was the guy that I almost thought his name, but anyways, just a good old boy, never meaning no harm. That's all he ever saw. Get in trouble with the laws today. The guy that did the voiceovers for these boys gonna make it out of this situation.
That was Waylon Jennings. That was this guy who sang the theme song.
Waylon did the
Waylon
voiceovers.
Jennings, yes.
I knew he sang the song because he had that second verse, which is hilarious too. If you ever listen to the whole theme,
I wonder how Bo and Jeff gonna get out of this situation. Hell,
I don't think they're gonna probably have to downshift.
I didn't know there was a second verse.
Yeah, dude.
You know, there's words to match.
It's like I'm a good old boy.
Okay.
You know my mama loved me.
Okay.
But you don't understand. You can even look at my hands, but not my face on TV. And so it's like making fun of the fact that they never show his face.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's all. That's the whole theme.
Oh.
I've got it on a mix CD.
No, there's
having
words.
it on a mix CD too. I'm happy I'm not guffawing anymore because it lets things happen in a progressive. Like he doesn't know I'm laughing, and so then he gets to keep happening. So you have a mixtape.
I made a mix CD for my drive up to my aunt's to Green Bay tomorrow, and I put the Dukes of Hazzard theme on, as well as what else did I put on? I put on a bunch of Dick Curlis.
What?
Dick
Curlis?
Curlis is a country singer.
Who?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What's his name?
Dick Curlis. He's got a great voice. It's so funny. Like his stuff is.
Dick has a good voice.
His stuff is off the chain, awesome country music, man.
Dick is off the chain.
He's off the chain. It's the best Dick ever.
No, the best Dick ever is a stock car driver from Green Bay.
I don't know that one.
The best Dick ever is a
You
poet
don't
from
know Dick
Milwaukee,
Trickle?
Wisconsin. Dick Trickle.
Dick Trickle. That was yes.
Oh, yeah.
The
What's a funnier name, Mario? Dick Curlis or Dick Trickle?
and that's the, like
He's not guffawing. He's actually choking on the laughter right now. This is a near-death experience.
no, that was like a running gag on SportsCenter, like the early days.
Yeah.
Whenever they
Dick
did a
Trickle.
NASCAR, yeah,
Dick Trickle was a running gag.
yeah, they
That's
would always
funny.
Dick Trickle would always finish like towards the end, but they would always make it a point to show where he finished, so they could put Dick Trickle on the screen.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Dick Trickle
That's the only reason I
would
know who he
always
is.
finish in the end. That's what he said on the podcast. Dick Trickle always finishes
Dick Trickle always finishes
on the end.
on the end,
That just happened.
unless he spins out in the grass.
Oh, we need
Dick
that.
Trickle in a horrible wreck. Oh, this has got juvenile.
Dick Trickle touching bumpers there.
Dick Trickle is on fire.
Oh, poor Dick. Trickle. Poor Dick Trickle.
Poor
On
Dick.
fire.
Anyway,
Dick Trickle.
so guys, tomorrow is Thanksgiving.
Dick Trickle's an all-star.
What are you thankful for, Nick?
I'm thankful for Dick Trickle. I'm sorry. No, you asked Nick.
I asked Nick first.
Okay.
Mario.
Didn't mean to interrupt Nick with my Dick Trickle comment.
Speaking of white guilt, I think I just go through the motions on Thanksgiving begrudgingly. Because I know nobody really wants to hear what I have to think about Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
I did mean to
I don't
interrupt
care
Nick
about
with
what- yeah, I
my
don't-
Dick Trickle.
I don't care about what you think about Thanksgiving. It's just, what are you thankful
What
for?
am I thankful for? I mean, I'm thankful. I guess I'm thankful that I'm alive. I mean,
Okay.
it's. I'm getting those cranky old man years talking about before. I'm seeing a bunch of things about this world that kind of suck, and
Okay, that's not very funny, Mario. What are you?
I don't.
I plan. What do I have planned for Thanksgiving?
Oh, you gave me such a lame ass question. What?
Dude, that's a softball. Okay.
So, what do I have?
It's because it's lame.
Excuse me, Dick Trickle, but could you? What I was saying was, Uranus Flowers. Are you a guy named Uranus Flowers? It was Uranus. Okay, but so I was what do I have planned for Thanksgiving? Like lonesomeness and sorrow. I will probably go to Denny's and sit at the bar and eat turkey.
How long? How long do you have to wait before Denny's seats you? I'm sorry.
There are lines of us fellows.
They have problems there.
Yes,
Denny's.
they do.
Denny's is a slightly racist institution.
Oh, I understand. But like I said, so yeah, I'll probably go to Denny's and smoke cigarettes.
Why
and
would
sit
you go
with
to
the other
Denny's?
divorced guys, because I have no family. My grandmother died in January, so that was the last of my family. So I don't really have a close connection to my family. So the holidays, he says in this pity fest, like no, I really don't have anything to do. And so all you guys are going with your parents to various parts of the state.
Yeah.
Me and the fellow that had appeared on the show earlier had discussed, we were both divorcees, whether or not we should go somewhere and find something to eat.
There's got to be a strip club open on Thanksgiving.
Right.
But who wants to see the desperate whores that don't have family to be with on Thanksgiving? Who wants to see these ladies take off
How much
that
do you-
herpes sword?
How much do you got to pay to stuff the turkey?
Yeah, the question is, do you have to get a Dick Trickle when you, what?
A Dick Trickle trading card? See, you have to phrase these
Yes,
questions
yes,
right.
I'm sorry.
Mario's just looking for a reason to say Dick Trickle now.
A little sad, really. It's kind of grasp. You're kind of reaching out and trying to grasp Dick Trickle. You're not able to.
Oh,
You know. And
That's all I have left.
trying to use Dick Trickle in everything that you do, and you're not able to. You have a malfunction at the junction, sir.
Yeah.
I'm
I can't Dick Trickle properly.
I'm thankful that Ice-T hasn't sued us yet for using this. I'm kidding. And that Mario's been able to get so much legs out of this Elmo stuff.
It's the gift that keeps on giving. And I was going to go deeper into the Elmo jokes.
Yes,
deeper.
yes.
Into okay, but I didn't want to fill the show with more gay Muppet sex. Well, I just didn't want to. But
I still can't get over like the first time they showed the accuser and it's like this young man, and it did not look like a young man. And I was like, and he was a pale skinned black fellow, so it's like your gender and race are like up in the air right now, my man. So it's like, come on, dude.
Oh, androgynous. He was a bit androgynous.
He was a bit everything.
Yeah,
he was
skinny jeans and
if you do the right amount of drugs,
racks on racks looking kind of guy.
Yeah. you do the right amount of drugs, though, you probably end up sleeping with that kind of thing at some point. That's the thing. No one's talked about that.
What?
But it's like Kevin Clash is probably really, really high when he does all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You know? There's no way. There's no way. Like, how do you like, yes, that, please.
Right.
That questionable thing there. But, you know, then there's the other way of looking at it. Like, okay, these guys were 15 and maybe having sex with Elmo messed them up permanently. You know? Like, I'm just saying.
What's the movie with the blue people?
Avatar.
Yeah, the guy
What's
said
the movie with blue people?
He's been sleeping. He knew.
Smurfs.
My point being,
He smurfed him.
the guys look.
He smurfed his Smurf.
They look more like Avatar, like light-skinned Avatar characters. Like they don't really have any facial features other than hairstyle. You can't really tell.
They have eyebrows and then like eyes and like two holes to breathe through. They look like a nose.
But the things that make you either one sex or the other are kind of in question. Like they're just bundled, like human.
Guy looked like cross between Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson. Wow, that was what that was. Looked like he's like, I want to look like Michael Jackson, and then he like halfway through, he's like, no, I want to look like Janet.
Jenna Jameson and Little Richard was the comparison. They look like a mixture.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's much better. That's more accurate too. Little Richard and Jenna Jameson.
Yeah. It was right there. Like. Jenna has a strong jaw from her years of filleting gentlemen on camera, and Little Richard has a loose jaw, and Jenna has the bright colored eyes, and the forehead thing is Richard's, and they looked a little weird. And I was like, my whole thing is, as a gay man, especially when you work with the Children's Television Workshop, and again, I'm not making any excuses. You have to know, even if you come out later on in life with your homosexuality, that you have to mature the kind of guys you like.
But here's the thing. Remember how we were talking about
if he was a bear or a furry lover.
But remember the stupid choices we were talking about us straight gentlemen making when we were like in our teens and early 20s?
It's not any different for them.
Yeah.
But he was in his 30s, though.
He was in his 30s? I have no idea how old dude is. I really don't.
So you have to, because he has brought on some of that androgyny into his own life. But what I was saying was like, he had gotten married, had extended that relationship, and I presume knowing that he had these gay feelings, but wanting to, have some normalcy. And then once he had gotten divorced and had came out of the closet, I think maybe what it could have been, he wanted to go back to being 18. I'm not making excuses, but that his mind state was still locked in those 18-year-old desires, and that led him to people that looked in and around that age group.
Sure.
But you can't do, especially when you're a puppeteer working for the Children's Television Workshop. 15-year-old boys should be you have to know this is wrong.
Well, I'll tell you, there's you go to any rural area, and there's rural. and you got 30-year-old guys who try to pick up high school girls because they're small towns. They probably been with every chick in town. They just see nothing wrong with I don't know if they it's that same reason that they just
Catching it right off the boat.
Dude, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I don't know, like,
it's
did you-
different. I think
No,
it's
I'm the human race. I don't understand human
Okay.
race. I refuse to participate. Is what I would say. This sucks. I don't want to talk about it. Whatever. Muppets. Whatever. Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
it was gonna happen. It had to happen at some point.
Yeah.
It's just. You know.
I just remember like putting on a show up there, a rap show.
A rap show.
A rap show in Green Bay with a bunch of rappers from like Calumet County and
awesome.
you don't even know if they have rap up there, but this guy comes in, he's well into his 20s with his 15-year-old girlfriend, like it wasn't like no, like and she she looked like she was 15 at the oldest.
Yeah.
She was, she could have passed for like as young as 12.
It's disturbing.
And
but
it and that's what I'm saying. It's not. I think there's like a lot of.
that's the country thing. First of all, like they just do it. You know what I mean? But
She's so pretty.
she showed pretty. She got a real pretty mouth.
How old is you, gal? 15. I like them that age.
That's a good age.
Hey, I saw
Every year I get older, they stay the same age.
There's a bumper sticker on my pickup truck.
He turned into
what
the
movie
dude
was
from
that? That was in a movie.
what? The pickup truck
Yeah,
line?
that's what I love about high school girls. Each year I get older, they stay the same age.
Oh Lord,
Yeah.
with the guy, the beach guy. Holy crack! I know.
Dazed and Confused.
Dazed and Confused. Yeah,
Yes.
that's it.
Yeah.
With McConaughey. With
McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey.
That's my
Yeah, he
Star
played that
Wars.
one.
I haven't seen that one.
You haven't seen that?
Oh, what?
Wow.
Well, you're not. A stoner,
Don't judge.
So.
No, I'm not a stoner. I don't watch like the typical stoner movies. So.
Yeah. Well, most typical stoner movies just aren't funny after you're 15, 16.
Yeah.
There.
No, they're not.
Okay, wait a minute. So,
Maybe Cheech and Chong, but at this point it's like everybody's seen it.
so I was watching the preeminent pedophilic show,
To Catch a Predator.
To Catch a Predator, with the reporter guy, and I can't never remember his name.
Hanson.
Yeah, John Hanson.
Chris
And-
Hansen.
Chris Hansen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they had so they've caught various levels of pedophile guys.
Oh God, are you gonna talk about what I think you're gonna talk about?
What, the dude with Downs that showed up.
Man.
That was the funniest. Cause like what made it so fun, he had Down syndrome.
Yeah.
And you weren't ever sure. So let's explain it. So To Catch a Predator. So because for those who have never seen To Catch a Predator, what To Catch a Predator is it's a.
Keith is very exasperated right now.
I'm sorry. It's a gotcha show. Can we say that?
But basically, they would pose as 15-year-old girls on the internet and get guys to come to this house where they have a bunch of cameras and have a reporter come and ask him, what he's doing there, why is he's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the police wait outside, so even after the guy is captured on film, admitting to these deleterious things he's been saying with these inappropriate things he's been saying with these girls on the internet. So you get various different scenarios. One guy showed up butt naked,
Yes.
and then the girl leads him into the house.
Fake.
And out comes Chris Hansen.
Fake.
Like, hi, I'm from ABC News.
Fake.
And he had. I don't assume it was fake. Whatever. So
I'm saying some of that stuff is fake.
I think it, probably started out real at first, like most reality shows do. But
Well,
then
until
it
that guy
becomes-
committed
yeah.
suicide.
Right.
Did you see that one?
Oh no.
Yeah, well, it was like the
To
best.
Catch a Predator.
Yeah, they got
Wow.
some rich guy.
Oh, after the show, not
No,
during.
it was during the show. They were filming it, and they went to his house. They surrounded it. I remember because it was on To Catch a Predator.
Okay.
And the guy killed himself. You just hear like a shot.
Wow.
And it's in his house. And they're like, we don't know what's happened. We don't know what's happened. It's like the guy killed
You
himself.
clearly have to attach a link to an online report from that during this.
You need to
Oh,
watch the show more, sucker.
Well, just a couple months ago, there
That's
was.
when I stopped watching. Actually, I was like, okay, this has achieved its climax, And the catching of the gentleman with Down syndrome is just like, yeah, I watched that clip, and at first I was like, I feel bad for him because he's got
Right,
Down
I did
syndrome.
too, I did
But
too.
then I had to remind myself, he drove there,
Right.
and he had a Bluetooth. Those are things I don't have.
He had condoms and lube and the biggest Bluetooth in his ear. So
Okay, so
he had a lot of stuff that I don't have, basically.
When you first start watching, he has the Down syndrome speech pattern, which I refuse to pantomime. But so he was answering the questions as if he was talking to a parent or a teacher.
Mimic.
Yeah, and I can't. Okay, so I just can't. It's wrong. And so I was like, oh man, poor guy. Then he was like, so you said online you'd like to put your in her. And I was like, profusely, and do you bleed? Have you ever bled before? I'm like, really? Is that what is that what life goes on? Is that what Corky said? Is that,
What the heck's going on out here?
Corky's nasty.
And then, I saw the thing where he's like, yeah, you could like wear some underwear for a couple days and then mail them to me. I was like, what's the freaking purpose of that?
What the?
Like I don't understand.
What the dick trickles going on here?
Jeez. I didn't make it. It was like, all right. Apparently, he does have special needs. There you go.
Damn right.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Corky's disgusting. I was like, look at this guy. He's going all in. He's going all in.
Yeah.
You can't go full.
Well, it just goes to show you, nobody is above the law.
Right. Or above 14-year-old butt, apparently.
You can't impersonate a person with Down syndrome, but you can still do Sylvester Stallone impersonations.
There was a dude.
I am the law.
So
That's Sylvester Stallone, ladies and gentlemen, not a person with Down
there
syndrome.
was another guy on To Catch a Predator who was a sheriff, but he had got off the sheriff's force.
I am the law.
And they found in his car like a cache of weapons and grenades and zip ties. And he was like, yeah, I had that for work.
I just want to go the distance.
Yo, Adrian.
I don't want to go to this.
Simon
I'm pretty the fool. So I was watching Rocky 3, and that's awesome. Rocky 2, that's awesome. With Mr. T.
Clubber Lang.
Clubber
That's
Lang,
3.
yeah.
Yep, Clever Lang.
Yep.
Was it? It was 3.
And that was
That's three.
also Hulk Hogan with Thunderlips.
Yeah,
Yep.
Thunderlips,
Yep.
yeah.
No,
Clubber Lang.
Clubber Lang. That's a great character name. First
So
of
what
all.
do you see happening in the fight, Clubber? Pain.
That's such a good. Yeah, and
I was like,
It is a great line.
I had a CD of like old punk songs, and there was a band on there called Sloppy Seconds,
Right.
and they had a soundbite of Mr. T, and he's like, "What do I think of people that don't like sloppy seconds? Pain." That was like right before their song. I was like, "Oh, that's so brilliant! They did that."
I pity the fool. That was the first time he ever said that.
Yeah.
On
Oh yeah,
I pity the fool.
that movie gave him so much of his dialogue.
I don't
And
hate.
he's been playing the same character for 30 years
Yeah.
now.
Well, it's fine. You
I
can
don't-
make a living, do it.
I don't hate Rocky.
I don't begrudge him
pity
for
the
it.
Fool.
That movie's great. If they could have not made 4 and 5 and 6, well, 6 was good.
was
It had no
good.
right to be good, but it was good.
So we did a
Yeah.
greater or less. So it was Rocky 1
Greatest.
is greater than Rocky 2,
Yes.
Yes.
which is greater than or equal to Rocky 3.
I'd say greater. I'd say 2 is better than Rocky 3.
They get progressively worse until you get to 5, and then finally 6.
5 is greater than 4. 5 is greater than
I don't
less
know.
than 3.
I don't know.
But greater than 4. And 4 is greater than Rocky Balboa.
No,
No way.
I don't
No
think
way.
so. Unless you're really,
Where
really
was-
into Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
I must
That was an
pray-
awesome character.
Or-
and the big tall chick. The
Unless
big
you
tall
crank
white-
it out to Brigitte Nielsen,
Right.
you know. You
Oh
probably,
yeah.
Brigitte
Talk
Nielsen-
about giving half of everything you have to somebody. Dude, you know when Ice-T writes a lyric about you, I don't want to be alone, like Stallone. Then you know that you've had a bad life. Or you had a rough patch anyway, not a bad life. But you had a rough patch.
Stallone
'Cause
has money.
Stallone's made it back.
There's an Italian, and
I can afford to
there's
get-
Italian stallion. He started out a porn actor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he's
Came
actually
along-
in.
He came a long
Yeah.
way.
That's where he got some of his first dialogue.
Right.
Remember when he started going "Ooh" for the first time on screen? That's where
That was back when porn still pretended to have plots.
I just
You know,
want to go the
yeah.
distance.
I don't think he was actually, like having sex on camera.
Did he really have an Italian stallion?
I think he like did some beefcake poses or something, and that was it. Like it was like when Shawn Michaels in Playgirl.
Well, I thought Schwarzenegger had the actual
Shawn Michaels
porn.
didn't.
I think Schwartz. Yeah, I think
Shawn
you're
Michaels
right.
didn't go full junk. He didn't
No.
go. Oh,
No.
I thought he did.
I didn't see his. I don't know.
I
even know.
remember
Yeah.
like in the press releases when Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Full
Oh
jump.
my God! Star Wars sold out to. Why did we not talk about this? Oh yeah, that's right.
Stop
I don't
yelling
know
in the
why
microphone.
I'm sorry. Star Wars. Lucasfilm sold to
Disney.
Disney.
Yeah.
4.8 billion.
That's a
You
lot
know,
of ducats.
I'm still mad that Disney owns Marvel.
I don't care.
Star Wars just sold out to Disney.
Everyone
and they-
sells out to Disney eventually,
Exactly.
guys.
Is that what happens? Are we eventually going to be a Disney
If
current?
We are.
already are. I don't know. I didn't tell you.
I don't know what you mean about becoming. I mean, that's.
Once we hit 40 likes on Facebook, Disney owns us.
Oh, yeah.
It's in the contract.
I didn't know that.
Please don't like us.
Why do you think I keep saying it? You guys are like, he's a hipster. Like, no.
3 more likes, we're owned by Disney. So they're going to do new Star Wars films. So I was watching some vlogging heads video about it, and all the EC Star Wars geeks were talking about what plots they could use from the extended content and books or whatever. And I was like, yeah, that's. I don't know that much about Star Wars.
fuck with the distance.
I couldn't say that with a straight face.
I don't. They were like talking about plot lines and story and character arcs from the EC universe, and I was like, I have no idea. Okay.
Stupid! These things are stupid!
I need to go get a beer.
I didn't know anything about what the hell they know. I was like, I love Star Wars, but no, I have.
I have kind of the lightsaber sounds and the fighting with the lightsaber. I love that stuff. And Han Solo, because it's Harrison Ford. He's a great actor, and I think like he's one of the most charismatic actors of the 20th century. He's like up there for me with like
Boba Fett. I thought Boba Fett.
Boba
was
Fett's
awesome.
a great character, but like here's the thing: they went and they made Jango Fett, which was stupid for some reason. I don't know why, but that's trying to explain the origins of Boba. And then like that stuff just bothers me. And then the fact that the animated show was better than the first 2 movies in the new trilogy.
Wow.
I mean, that's an ouchie, like, and I'm not saying like it was better, like, oh, it was better production. No, it was Samurai Jack quality. But the fact is, the plot was better, and there was actual character development, and interesting things happen. And the what's that stupid droid with like the multiple arms, like the general. He just showed up. He just showed up at like the end of the
Part
second
2,
one or
right.
whatever, right?
Yeah,
and
part
it's
2.
like, who is this guy? You haven't explained it at all, but you're supposed to know because you watched the animated show. But the thing was, the animated show was better. It was just better than the first 2 movies completely, and the first 2 movies sucked so hard. And I couldn't even like bear to watch them. They were like, it was like as bad as the second and third Matrix movies. Those were terrible movies.
Yeah.
And it's because I didn't get to. Nobody listens to me. I'm like, I knew exactly what they should have done. But I didn't geek out and put on a bloggerverse or anything like that. So, because
I have something kind of like I always know what football coaches should have done. It's weird.
no, I have the same problem. Yeah. I have the same problem with like sequels. I'm like, you know what? They could have done the vampire werewolf thing.
I don't agree about the Matrix 3. The final one is the one that they lost me.
The second one was stupid, too. I mean, it had great fight scenes, but here's the
Was it
thing.
so it's 1, 2, 3. So the second one was the rise of when he first found out he could stop the machines in the real world. It was how they. Okay, so I accepted all that, and I'm not a big sci-fi fan, but I accepted all that.
You watch Doctor Who.
But I'm not. But outside of the Doctor Who universe, I don't really. I mean, I do Star Wars, but I'm not.
You
really,
know some Trek stuff, too. We've talked about it.
some Trek, some Trek. I mean, well, I did the Next Generation
You
because
do
I
a
like
great.
Data.
You do a great Michael Dorn. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Mark.
Worf. He married the chick that played on Sesame Street. He played
chick?
Gordon's wife. He married Gordon's wife.
I don't know Gordon's wife. I don't watch Sesame Street. I don't know who these people are. I'm
a
sorry.
Muppet fan. So, anyways, but I didn't like. I could take the story arc if you establish that he could control the machines. You know what I mean? I'm fine with that. But at what point do we say,
It was stupid. It was just stupid.
It's the 15th incarnation,
just-
and that we don't know
It was
how
stupid.
long you've been caught up in the
It was stupid.
machine.
It was stupid.
and
It was stupid.
I was like,
Yeah, because they tried to give you they tried to do exactly what Star Wars is doing or trying to do. They tried to create a universe, and they tried to create something that everybody can get into, and you can get into, and all these different things. They're basically just doing what Tolkien did with The Hobbit and all that stuff, because he was able to create a universe, and people want to always emulate that because it's marketing.
But my
Stop
question,
banging stuff around.
My question
you need to
is,
stop being Steven Tyler
Why-
from Aerosmith
Stop.
right now.
So if,
and
if the anomaly kept if the anomaly kept happening,
Yeah.
why didn't the computer adjust for the anomaly? Why would the anomaly get stronger and stronger and stronger? Even if it was a broken line in the code, the computer had become so intelligent that it created all of this other stuff.
You need to upgrade. There's a Mac. That's why. Adobe Flash didn't come in. There, problem
They
solved.
wrote it in Linux. I only use Linux. I'm a real hipster.
Who knows, man? Stop manipulating that thing, will you?
That's what my mom used to say when I was in the bathroom for long periods of time. Stop manipulating that thing, will you?
You need to get the mic stand in a place where you're comfortable, my friend. Because all I hear is this rubber grinding thing, man. I'm gonna mute you for a second so you can get it right, and then we're gonna continue on with the last 10 minutes of the show. It's like over here, just going all over the place, like he's singing for Paula Abdul and the judges on American Idol, and stop it! It needs to stop, dude.
I never learned how to not manipulate my mic. That's why I didn't have a girlfriend for large periods of time in my high school.
You were married, you weren't married in high school. You were married after high school, is what you said.
I was masturbating a lot in high school. The point I was making, the mic is a metaphor for my penis.
Well, you can't not masturbate in high school. I mean, you're always, you.
Sure. Well,
The urge is constant.
Yeah, I mean, I was probably cranking out 2 a day at least.
Yikes.
On a slow day.
furiously.
Yes, furiously. Very. I think I
That
had the
was too
name.
much. That was too much.
Yeah, that was a little too far there.
That too many things
well.
just
Yeah.
rushed into my mind when you said angrily
Dick
yanking
Crickle.
one.
Spray, damn you!
I'm not comfortable with that, and I refuse to participate any further.
This is
in conversation.
revolting.
This was revolting to Mario. If you were to list all the disgusting things that have been said on this show alone,
Yeah, why don't you go back-
That won't even rank in
You
the
can
top
go back
50.
and listen to the first 3 episodes where you were talking about buckets and stuff. Sorry, man. As far as I'm concerned, I'm the only clean-minded gentleman on the show.
You were doing the Elmo voices last week.
It's true.
Elmo knows where you live.
Just for the record, that is not my voice.
That is the voice of Kevin Clash.
I don't know if that's actually him. It's from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that might have been. No.
Don't tell people where you got that because they'll sue us.
Thanks, Nick.
Hey, it's less than 15 seconds.
Yeah, right. We're gonna get sued so many times.
Oh yeah,
Right? But you know what? River Coast Radio is not liable for any legal issues that arise from the content.
But
of the
we
program.
are.
They
You
can come-
keep saying that to relieve the station responsibility, but what about my poor black ass? Yeah, River West Radio is not responsible for the things that I said that I'm responsible for that may cost me the money I don't have. And I pay for this lawsuit and food stamps, and
Because we know stores that can do that. They're everywhere.
There's a law firm out there you can pay with stamps. That'd be awesome. This is like Daniel Condas, got a back door.
Yeah.
The Quest card.
this is the law of Emmanuel Monge. Incompetent, compassionate, and concerned that I take quest.
Being poor is lame.
Yes. Being poor sucks.
What do you say about that? Yeah.
Where's your work ethics?
You're damn right.
Christ.
Crikey. But yeah, man.
Anyway, all right.
So we getting down to the last.
We're getting down to the wire, my man.
Speaking of
Well, you
work
gonna tell
ethics,
everybody about the?
We gotta do one thing real quick because it's important. Mario is in the Shepherd Express.
hey,
He's got a blurb in the calendar, and it says Poets Monday with Meyer the Poet, Lindeman's River West End, 7:30 p.m. That's when the doors are opening. I think the actual open mic starts at 8, and then the feature goes on around 9 o'clock. Milwaukee native and two-time member of Milwaukee's national slam team, Mario the Poet, is a freelance writer and slam poet with 2 self-published chapbooks and a compact disc of spoken word poetry to his name. Co-host of the New Word Document Show, monthly open mic poetry set at River West Public House, Mario is active throughout Milwaukee and is a regular at nightclubs and art exhibitions. Which art exhibitions are those?
3 of them. Okay. William Zobek has had me come out to a few of his art expositions. Don't judge me.
I'm not.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm asking because I didn't know that you did that.
Yeah, I think he was questioning whether or not you actually went to an art gallery.
Little bit.
Yeah.
But
I've been to the liquor store in your mama house. Go ahead.
We got to get to the last sentence because this is important.
Oh,
An
wow.
unapologetic free thinker headlines Lindeman's free weekly Poets Monday
not free.
this week. That's what we want to talk about. It's not free. Joanne Chang is going to be so mad. She takes the $3 at the back door. People, if you're listening, come with $3 in your hand.
It's not free.
I mean, you can't sit out in the front at the bar and listen.
They didn't even mention. They didn't mention There Goes the Neighborhood. I have nothing to do. with that.
I'm not saying you did. That was not even the concern. I'm just saying like the free part because it is $3 to get into the open mic.
I have nothing, and it goes to me. So I would have.
No, but they say that the Tuesday night one that I work at over at the Miramar, they say that that's free all the time too, and it's not. It's $2.
Right.
You know, because you get a disc, a CD of recording of your performance, right?
Yeah.
And then the Lindemans one, it's designed to help people get paid for their gigs because poets don't get paid enough. Period.
For their gigs, right?
Yeah,
right.
they just don't. You know, so that's why it's $3. You know. So when you come out to the open mic, you can get up and read and everything if you sign up, but you are supporting the features, and that's
this Sunday at River West Public House.
Right.
815 East Locust. We do New Word Document, which they did mention in the article, and it's $3 to $5 donations.
Right.
If you don't have the money, we don't. I mean, it's the same way at Lindeman. So if by you mean that if you were broke and you came and you really wanted to listen when we let you in, yes. But it's not free. Stop saying it's free when we intend that you pay. Even more so at Lindeman's because it's a cover charge.
Yeah.
At my particular venue, it's a donation. So if you don't have it, you don't have to pay.
Sure.
But at Lindeman's, the expectation is that you cough up to $3. Right. When you walk in the door, you have to pay $3. Joanne and Claus and the general attitude about the place is if you ain't got it, okay, cool, come and chill out. But they kind of ask you for it's not considered a donation.
Yeah, it's the cover is what you pay because there's a lot that goes into that show actually, and the fact that Tim's been able to put it on week in and week out for so long, and that Joanna's there faithfully taking the money, the door money, you know. But also, there's just a lot that goes on that in general at the venue. It's good to support it. So I also have a show coming up on Friday at the Cheese Bar down
Friday?
on Old World 3rd on Black Friday. Yeah, it's free. And it's the November Criminals.
Black Friday.
Yeah.
Well, it's what it's called, man.
That's one of the reasons I don't like talking about Thanksgiving because eventually you got to talk about Black Friday, and I got to explain to people why I'm not doing Black Friday.
Look, no one's doing Black Friday. The show is free. You can come out there. You're not spending any money, but I guarantee you will want some of their tap beer because at this cheese bar there are 36 tap beers, and
there's a guy whose name is Black and his last name is Friday. And he's on Facebook, and he keeps hearing people say that they're doing Black Friday, and it makes him sad.
All right. Now that we've established all that
Dick Trickle
stuff. Dick Trickle knows where you live.
You're damn right. Okay.
What the hell's going on out here?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, the November Criminals set 36 chambers of tap beer down at the Cheese Bar, which is down at Old World 3rd because beer is great, and it's across the street from Mater's, and very near where the Edelweiss
rhymes
picks up.
with taters. Remember, that's how you can remember it. Okay, so it's 46. So give me some plug one more time.
What?
46 chambers of tap beer.
36 chambers of tap beer at the Cheese Bar. We got to go because Nick
Kovacs
Kovac's here, and we are like way past our time.
Packerverse time.
Packerverse time. Stay tuned.
Yes.
Adios.